Hey, bro, what's up? How you doing?
And welcome back to Phillips Arena. Two of the best in the world at what they do. Michael Jordan, Denzel Washington. Little pregame
I tell
handshake.
you what, Michael Jordan ain't no Denzel Washington.
Hey, let me ask you, Charles. Where were you 15 years ago today? What were you doing 15 years ago today? I'll give you a hint. You were in this city, Atlanta. And you were scoring a career high, regular season career high of 47 points. That's not the video of it.
You know why? Because Mike Fratello was the coach at the All-Star game, and he only played me 4 minutes. And I tried to kill him that next game. That's exactly what happened.
By the way, Neek had 49 and the Hawks won by 2. It is time to check in one more time with Craig Sager. Sags?
Well, thank you, EJ. We talked earlier about Michael Jordan not starting for the East, Shaquille O'Neal not starting for the West, and said that starting honor goes to Yao Ming. Tracy says the East is honoring Michael, trying to give him the MVP. What are you doing as an individual and as the West as a team for Michael?
Well, we're just going to go out and play, try to win, just have a good time. Mike is a great player in the game, and we just want to make it a great show.
How do you feel about not starting?
Doesn't matter who starts, doesn't matter who finishes. I'm just glad to be here. I'd like to thank Butchie, Sergeant Harris, and my father for raising me well. Nothing else matters, brother.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Ernie.
Thank you very much, Craig. Some pearls of wisdom from Shaq about a half hour before tip-off here. I understand now that, Charles, we have the video evidence of your night here 15 years ago. Your 47-point performance.
Hey, Mike Fratello.
Pointing that mic right there.
Mike Fratello only played me 4 minutes in the All-Star game. That really made me mad. I tried to kill him.
And I understand you hit it. You took a last-second shot that was off the mark.
Well, I went for a 3 to win the game because I didn't want the game to go to overtime.
It wound up 112 to 110, by the way. Time running out.
I went for the 3.
Hey, time running out here for us in our pregame segment. You saw Michael Jordan. You see Yao Ming. The intros are going to be something. They'll be coming up in a few minutes. They'll tip it off in about a half hour. Good night, everybody.
Yao, Shaq, the rematch. The first meeting was a classic. The second will be legendary. Rockets versus Lakers. Yao versus Shaq. Tuesday night, February 18th.
It's alright. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on!
And now, your Eastern Conference All-Stars. The trainer from your Atlanta Hawks, Wally Blaze. The assistant coaches from the Indiana Pacers, Brandon Malone, Jim Stack, and Mark Aguirre. The head coach, named as an NBA All-Star coach for the first time from the Indiana Pacers, 12-time NBA All-Star and Hall of Famer, Isaiah Thomas. And now the players from the Eastern Conference. At 6'6" in his second All-Star appearance at guard from the Boston Celtics, Paul Pierce. Also from the Boston Celtics, 6'9" forward and 3-time All-Star, Antoine Walker. 7'3" center and first-time All-Star from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. 7-foot center from the Indiana Pacers in his first All-Star game, Brad Miller. At 6'4", six-time All-Star guard from the New Jersey Nets, Jason Kidd. At 6'8", first-time All-Star forward from the New Orleans Hornets, Jamal Mashford. And at 6'6", with his 14th All-Star selection, at guard from the Washington Wizards, three-time All-Star Game MVP, Michael Jordan. Now the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference All-Stars. This next All-Star has just asked to be replaced in the starting lineup by Michael Jordan. 6'7" forward from the Toronto Raptors, four-time NBA All-Star, Vince Carter. From the Indiana Pacers at 6'11", two-time NBA All-Star forward, Jermaine O'Neal. At 6'9", playing in his first NBA All-Star game at center from the Detroit Pistons, Ben Wallace. With his fourth consecutive All-Star selection, 6-foot guard from the Philadelphia 76ers, Allen Iverson. And at 6'8", a guard from the Orlando Magic, three-time All-Star, Tracy McGrady. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eastern Conference All-Stars. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the 2003 NBA All-Stars. Please rise and join us in a moment of silence as we honor the courage of the astronauts lost in the Columbia Space Shuttle tragedy. We ask you to remain standing for the singing of the national anthems of the United States and Canada. To perform the Canadian anthem, Emmy and Golden Globe nominated actress, Toronto native Gloria Rubin.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gloria Rubin. To honor the United States with a Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome one of the most breathtaking voices in contemporary country music, multi-platinum recording artist, Martina McBride.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martina McBride.
Yes, a festive atmosphere here in Atlanta, as it has been throughout this All-Star weekend. The last time the NBA All-Star game was played in Atlanta, 25 years ago, at the old Omni. We are at beautiful Phillips Arena, and I'm joined by a couple of one-time All-Star coaches, Jeff Van Gundy and the Czar, Mike Fratello. We just heard the announcement on the public address that Michael Jordan will be in the starting lineup. Vince Carter, Czar, bowing to the pressure because at first he said he felt that it would be a slight to the fans who voted him in if he stepped aside. But here is a last-second decision, and Jordan will be the starter.
Allen Iverson wanted to do it first. Tracy McGrady was the next one to step up and offer to do it. Vince Carter was the one that should have offered from the beginning. The team wanted to do something special for Michael, whether it was get him the ball enough times to make him MVP. But whatever it is, they all got on the same page, and obviously it was for Vince, who only played 13 games this season, to give up his spot and let Michael start.
Jeff, as for the West, we're looking at a 1-2 combination at center of Yao Ming and Shaquille O'Neal. Can you see a situation where Rick Adelman says, hey, maybe I'll play both these guys at the same time?
Well, the Western Conference certainly has the advantage inside, and I could see Rick Adelman is toying with it. He even told me that today, playing Yao, Shaq, Tim Duncan at the 3, and supersizing his lineup with Kevin Garnett at the 2. That'll be too much size for the Eastern Conference to be able to handle.
That's kind of a Don Nelson hybrid type development in opposite fashion.
It sure is.
We'll probably see some zone with that lineup in there as well, right?
Nelly would love that 2-3 zone. That could stretch the width of the court.
All right, as two guys who have coached in all-star competition, what is the toughest aspect of handling an all-star squad?
I think your concern is that you want to give everybody equal opportunity because it is all-star weekend. You'd like to give them the shot at minutes that come close to being the same for everyone. But then you realize you can't do that because you're also trying to win a game at the end of it. Give them the minutes early, split them up, and then go for the win at the end.
It's not only just splitting up the minutes. You don't want to anger anybody you may be seeing down the road in the playoffs. So those non-playoff people, I always, when I did it, they were at the end of the minute line, and I upped everybody else's minutes.
All right, Vince Carter and Michael Jordan, a couple of Tar Heel alums. Vince was not well received when he was introduced to the crowd moments ago, even with the announcement prefacing the name Vince Carter that he had given up his starting slot.
I'm not sure everybody was ready to hear that little bit that they threw in there all of a sudden after his name. Then the people have recognized now that it will be Michael starting in place of Vince Carter.
And Marv, I think Vince Carter shouldn't have been compelled or pressured. I think if he wanted to do it, he should have, but I don't think anyone should feel the obligation not to play in a game that they're voted into. I think maybe the rules need to be adjusted where if a guy doesn't play a certain amount of games, then he can't start. But I certainly think Vince Carter should be given credit for what he did.
Jeff, did your concern about upsetting any player that might come back to hurt you later on, did that carry over into the officiating as well?
No, but
Because
we do have 3 outstanding officials here today.
Of course.
And I want to get that in. I don't know who's the best of them all.
It doesn't stop. The officials are Jim Clark, Ted Bernhardt, and Louis Grillo. This an All-Star Game series that dates back to 1951. The first 2 All-Star games played at the old Boston Garden last season in Philadelphia. The West beat the East 135 to 120. And we're just about set.
Marv, I don't care what Michael wanted. This is how it should be. Michael Jordan should be starting the last All-Star appearance in his career.
Michael, who will celebrate his 40th birthday in 8 days on February the 17th, in his 15th and final NBA season. Tim Duncan, or no, Duncan had stepped in, but Yao Ming will go against Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons, and it's controlled by the West. This is Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets in the backcourt with the LA Lakers' Kobe Bryant. Tim Duncan of San Antonio. Kevin Garnett of Minnesota opens up the scoring. The East squad with Allen Iverson of the Philadelphia 76ers, along with Tracy McGrady of the Orlando Magic up front. Ben Wallace of Detroit, Jermaine O'Neal of Indiana, and Michael Jordan of the Washington Wizards. O'Neal rebounded by Wallace, who leads the NBA of that department. And the crowd getting into it as Jordan shoots over Yao Ming.
Yao probably never, ever thought he'd be matched up one-on-one against Michael Jordan in an All-Star game.
Yao Ming switching off. What a reception Yao received when he was introduced. Bryant being played by McGrady. Here's Francis. Duncan. And Francis able to retrieve.
Because of the lineup change, you got Michael Jordan guarding and Kevin Garnett. You see the lob over the top. Yao moving without the ball right to the rim for a lob and finish.
You know, there are many questions concerning Yao coming into his rookie season, but he has impressed his peers with every phase of his game. His footwork, his passing, his post moves, his knowledge of the sport. He's averaged just under 13 points, 8 rebounds. Garnett, yes.
And that's what makes Garnett so great. 6'11", he can play 5, 4, 3, and 2. He can guard on the perimeter. He can make a perimeter shot. He can post you. He's a matchup nightmare for any coach.
Tracy McGrady. McGrady from downtown. Tracy comes in leading the NBA, averaging better than 30 points per game.
Jeff, I'll tell you what I like already is I like what I see as far as how they're playing the game to start out with. We haven't seen any of the careless basketball that we saw in the first half of the game yesterday by the youngsters out there. They're playing this game on a much more serious level.
Iverson with the lob, but overthrows, and it's out of bounds.
Yao finds himself unguarded, so the first thing he does is go right to the front of the rim, and there we see the lob pass and the finish right there. Matchup on defense. I think you can find Yao on the floor. It's not that hard to find.
Steve Francis with the scoop, and it's the West 8 and the East 3. So are you referring to your victory in coaching these sophomores over the rookies yesterday? Jeff, as you know, he has been just impossible with that come from behind. Well, here's Jordan for 3. Well, Michael has missed on his first 2 shot attempts. It's a 4-on-2 for the West. Bryant went behind the back. but turns it over.
Well, once again, Kobe trying to put a little mustard on it right here. And as we see, going back underneath the backboard, trying to finish on the other side. That's where you meet all the white jerseys that are protecting the rim.
And that's a good sign because they're playing competitive. They're not just letting somebody get to the front of the rim.
Oh, what a move by McGrady to the reverse. And the East has opened up one for its first 7. The steal by O'Neal. Iverson behind the back. McGrady was looking for a foul call. Nice pass by Iverson, the West 8, and the East 5. 3.5 gone by. Bryant got the step. Duncan with the tip.
The West just has so much overall size. Garnett is bigger at the small forward than Wallace is as the center for the East. It's just a size advantage all night for the Western Conference.
And then when Yao Ming goes out, a fellow by the name of Shaquille O'Neal can check in. Jermaine O'Neal cuts it to a 3-point West lead.
Shaq's a pretty good 6-man, I'd say.
Kobe Bryant way off on that 3-point attempt. McGrady's pass broken up. And the quickness of Steve Francis leading to the break. Steve Francis having a terrific season for the Houston Rockets. Trying to lead the Rockets to the playoffs for the first time since 1999. Iverson met on the switch by Duncan. Here's Jordan. This crowd wants so badly for Michael to hit that first shot. He's 0 for 3. And Ben Wallace with a good play, reaching in to deflect it out of the hands of Yao Ming.
You see the deflection, Garnett always active, hands on the ball, and then Stevie Francis coming up with the steal and the finish.
McGrady trying to work on Garnett. Iverson with the step, lobbed it, and Duncan able to pick it off. The West with a 12-7 lead on the East. Duncan going glass, and that has been his specialty.
And it was good sharing of the ball. 3 or 4 or 5 passes, wide open shot, and Duncan is the best of the game at banking the ball off the board.
O'Neal, off a series of moves, draws the foul. It's on Duncan.
Jermaine O'Neal getting better and better this season in his low post moves down low at the basket area. Ability to draw fouls, get to the free throw line. Tim Duncan knows it right away. Too much contact on the way up by the big man.
Jermaine O'Neal, a 75% free throw shooter. Named the NBA's most improved player last season. Has that average up to 20 per game, as you see, making his second All-Star appearance.
And what a great example for a lot of the young people that have come in early. This young man did not come in and enjoy instant success in the NBA. There were years of frustration sitting on the bench for Jermaine O'Neal in Portland, and it wasn't Portland's fault. They had very good veteran players that were better than him in the league for a while. He sat, became unhappy. The trade was the best thing that happened to him to Indiana, and now by Brad Miller coming over, it moves him out of the center spot into the power forward position.
Iverson. Wallace drew the double. Here's Jordan. Jordan again. And Michael 0 for 5 here at the start. Yao lost it. Jordan on the loose ball. Crowd wants him to fire, and he does. The East able to get back. Wallace breaks it up. And Wallace, the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year last season, but that pass thrown off the mark. And a timeout is being called.
Ben Wallace makes a good decision not to go where all the red jerseys are. He finds Michael, who seems to have a wide open lefty layup, and then the follow-up misses both. The frustration right now that the rim just will not open up for Michael.
Where'd you get that shirt? It's huge.
It was my old boyfriend's.
It must have been huge.
He was.
Why don't you change into one of mine?
Nah, yours are kind of small.
So?
Well, small ones are okay. Huge ones just feel better. You have the tiniest little hands.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yo.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow. Yow. Yow.
Yo.
Can I write a check?
Yo. Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Yo.
Gee. Yo, gee.
Yo.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
How did I get my ticket to the All-Star game? I paid for it. What's my thirst? The game. What's yours?
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
Jeep Wrangler owners speak their own language.
TNT, the exclusive home of the 2003 Western Conference Finals.
The 2003 NBA All-Star Game. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Bringing people together with low fares. By Verizon Wireless. Sign up for America's Choice Family Share Plan. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. By Sprite. Obey your thirst. And by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there. Only in a Jeep 4x4.
Three times the chase, 3 times the adrenaline, 3 times the drama. For the first time on network television, Nicolas Cage, Gone in 60 Seconds, 3 nights in a row. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
Well, in Shanghai, China, you're looking at the Shanghai Sharks of the Chinese Basketball League. Yao Ming's former team. They're watching tonight's All-Star game on Chinese television. And here is what they are watching.
In his first NBA season, 7'5" center, Yao Ming.
也跟我讲说姚明呢和别人不一样，和在有些 NBA 的球员呢打破这个记录呢，也是一个非常有意思的。那和常规赛、季后赛是有所不同的，因为呢，好球，这是2个队友。
Excellent play-by-play, as always. Too much talk by the color commentator. You picked that up right away. It's about 5:45 a.m. in Shanghai. Oh, Wallace is fouled. Nice pass. Allen Iverson has opened up here as a playmaker. Some nifty passing by Iverson, and once again, the East to the line.
Allen has a good feel with all the white jerseys on, going right, but knowing somebody's back there left. He finds Ben Wallace, and then Kobe trying to get it from behind, commits the foul.
Ben Wallace at the free throw line has struggled throughout his 7-year NBA career, a 44% foul shooter this season. Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons, who have won 4 in a row. They have the 3rd best record in the East. A terrific season for the Pistons. Nice move by Jermaine O'Neal.
He actually feels more comfortable many times finishing with his left hand around the basket than he does with his right. It's an unusual thing, but it's something that he has a great strength in, using both hands.
Kobe Bryant trying to set it up. Here's Kevin Garnett. Rebounded by O'Neal.
It's a pretty good looking front line out there for the Western Conference when you think about Garnett, Duncan, and then Yao Ming, the skills of Yao Ming. And then you talk about skills. How about Tim Duncan? And there's Ben Wallace just missing the finish.
Garnett run into by Jordan. Michael looking puzzled about that foul. Well, during this evening's NBA All-Star Game, 989 Sports, PlayStation 2 is proud to present spectacular pictures from Skycam. Earlier we had suggested that perhaps the Czar could get a better look at the game from that particular position. Did not go for it.
You made Skycam sound like it's a friend or something. Skycam. It is a very interesting angle, though, to watch the game from, particularly replays, because you get to see the thing coming right behind the point guard as you come down the floor.
You on the payroll now, then?
I am.
14-10, West with the lead. Stephon Marbury, who just checked in, is able to hit.
And Marv, you asked this question, what's the hardest thing? It's playing your own guys. Isaiah Thomas' first sub was Brad Miller. A good move by him for his own team and his own player.
And Michael Jordan is 0 for 7 from the field. Jamie Foxx trying to get into the action as Jason Kidd looked at him and laughed. We have participatory fans here in Atlanta. Jason Kidd of the New Jersey Nets, Brad Miller of the Indiana Pacers have checked in. What a move by Iverson to set it up for Miller. Brad Miller in his very first All-Star game. Remember, Brad acquired from Chicago last February. That deal involving Jalen Rose and Ron Artest, Ron Mercer, Travis Best. Steve Nash, who just came on, setting it up for Duncan, rejected by O'Neal. And here comes Kidd. Iverson met by Nash. Iverson, yes.
Well, let's go back to Brad Miller for a second. When we think about free agents at the end of the season, the first two names become Duncan and Kidd. We see Stephon Marbury bringing it up, giving a little show at the same time there. But think about Indiana's problem at the end of the season. They must re-sign Reggie Miller. Jermaine O'Neal is someone they have to deal with. Then you talk about Michael Jordan finally scoring the basketball. And then Brad Miller, who's had an incredible year as a free agent as well.
Stephon Marbury, the former Net, acquired in the deal for Jason Kidd, and they're matched up against each other. O'Neal not able to handle the lob pass. And a timeout has been called with the East coming from behind to tie the West at 16.
Well, after going 0 for 7, Michael finally breaks the ice and is 1 for 8. And Jermaine O'Neal, what a great block on Tim Duncan, who's just about ready to throw it down.
3 times the chase, 3 times the adrenaline, 3 times the drama. For the first time on network television, Nicolas Cage, Gone in 60 Seconds, 3 nights in a row. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
Let's put woman and man together to find out which one is smarter. Some say men, but I say no. The women play their men like a puppet show.
Filter out everything you don't need. Keep what's good. That's called filtering. That's pure MGD.
Renegade. Weather, rugged terrain, I roll in the streets. I'm with my team in that Renegade Liberty Jeep. Oh, eyes on me, the girls all scream when I'm in the Jeep Liberty. And y'all feeling me now. Renegade.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 1673 with service to New York this evening. You want to make sure all your carry-on items are placed all the way underneath your seat in front of you or in one of the overhead bins. Please let us know. The captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Presenting the new 12-inch PowerBook, the world's most compact, full-featured notebook computer. And the new 17-inch PowerBook, the world's first and only 17-inch notebook computer. The new 12 and 17-inch PowerBooks. The next big and small things from Apple.
On April 11th.
This court orders you to undergo anger management therapy.
Oh. Let the healing begin.
Sandler.
I don't think you should be moving in with me.
Nicholson.
I like to sleep in the nude.
Anger management.
I said over easy! Now, why did I do that? Because I refused to spoon with you last night?
In theaters everywhere, April 11th.
Want a close shave while avoiding razor burn? The Extreme 3 from Schick balances 3 blades on a central pivot for a close, comfortable shave. Extreme 3. Get close, not burned.
Welcome back to Phillips Arena in Atlanta. Marv Albert, the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy, Craig Sager, and Cheryl Miller, along with a star-studded crowd, including Denzel Washington, Hall of Famer, one of the NBA's great players, Bill Russell, Isaac Hayes, Janet Jackson is on hand, and Puff Daddy sitting courtside will be checking out the crowd during the telecast. Shaquille O'Neal now working against his good friend Brad Miller. You recall the altercation they had last season. Fortunately for Miller, Shaq whiffed on the punch.
Yeah, it was an altercation that almost led to the decapitation.
Yes.
Whatever that word is.
Decapitation.
Yeah,
Good.
whatever.
Oh, the Czar. Oh, Jordan missed the stuff. Michael missed his first 7 shots, and he's now 1 of 9 from the field, looking to go at Shaq, and he does. And the ball's knocked out of bounds by O'Neal.
Michael said to Shaq, you come out here and guard me. Shaq did. So Shaq went out and played him aggressively on defense. And we see Michael right there missing the dunk. But Shaq played him pretty well. And then when it went off his foot, Michael said, okay, come and do it again.
Now Sean Marion of the Phoenix Suns, who just came on, is guarding Jordan. Michael hits the jumper, and he just said about time.
Well, he was in much better rhythm there, going off the dribble on a hard pull-up instead of easing into open shots.
8-0 run by the East. Marion had it knocked away. Nice play by Jason Kidd. Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks, who is certainly among the MVP candidates, has checked in for the first time. Nowitzki is up front with O'Neal and Marion. Marbury shooting the 3 and kept alive by Nash. Minute 25 remaining in this first quarter.
And the East is playing very small. Vince Carter's playing at the power forward here. Brad Miller at the center, a very small team.
Nowitzki. And last touch by O'Neal.
Brad Miller right now is looking around saying, where's the help going to come from as far as rebounding goes? You got to get 5 white jerseys on the glass.
And a look at the unit on the floor. Michael Jordan now will sit down. And here's the applause. Paul Pierce checks back in. This is not what Michael had in mind, though. A surprise starter at the last instant. Vince Carter saying, take my spot. Although Vince had objected early on and felt that, well, the fans had voted him in. It would be unfair to the fans. Nice play. Jason Kidd able to score. So obviously there was a degree of pressure placed on Carter, and Michael did start, but only 2 of 10 from the field. Here's the double on O'Neal. And a little traveling. No call made. Here's the lob. Iverson fields it, gets it back to Kidd. Miller is fouled. Hacked by Nowitzki.
Well, they've got to remember now, when they throw lobs and lead passes, everybody might be a half a step slow in this game because there have been a few activities around town over the last 2 or 3 nights.
If players ever kept track of the lob efficiency, they would be surprised how few are completed, particularly when you're not playing with those guys on a regular basis and have timing down.
You know, I've had so many of the older players, guys beyond their playing days, and I say to me, why the lob passes now? Why so many of the lob passes? Well, back then there weren't that many guys who could go up and catch him and finish him, but they're right. You can keep this game very simple and still be very effective in it by throwing bounce passes or chest passes.
Good play by Pierce, leading to this. Iverson. Oh, and he blows the layup. Iverson again. The East with a 23-16. There's the lob that does work. Shaquille O'Neal puts it down. that's why they continue to lob.
And throwing to him, that's a good idea.
That stopped a 13-0 run. Final seconds of the first. Iverson. And O'Neal fires one. So that is the end of the first quarter. The East coming from behind with that 13-0 spurt. And they've taken the lead.
Well, dispelling the concern of bounce passes right there. Nash throwing it up 2 feet above the rim. Shaq grabbing it and finishing, and then put a little show on for the folks here in the arena.
It's the East 23, the West 18.
Hey, Joel.
Hey.
We can't take him to the coast with us. You mind?
The coast, huh?
Yeah.
This is where we're gonna be. There's his acupuncturist.
Hey, I've never taken care of a weasel before.
It's a ferret.
If you guys have to do duties, just let me know. Have a great time. See ya.
Why wait? Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by February 10th. So get packing.
Hey.
You are now free to move about the country.
Going my way.
You know it.
Jeep Wrangler owners speak their own language.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
How did I get my ticket to the All-Star game? I paid for it. What's my thirst? The game. What's yours?
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
You're bound to have a good time with Verizon Wireless and unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 monthly access. Plus, share unlimited night and weekend minutes on the America's Choice National Family Share Plan. So don't miss out on some surefire fun. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
From the network that knows drama.
His name is Julius Caesar!
I don't know who I can trust.
What did they tell you?
You betrayed me, Eddie.
We betrayed each other.
Actors know what actors do.
I consider this a great honor.
TNT, we know drama.
We welcome you back to the 52nd NBA All-Star Game. We're at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. The East with a 23-18 lead on the West, and this the lowest scoring first quarter since 1956. There's another lob that misfires. Game played at Rochester at 24-17 first quarter. Nash for three. And the ball Back to the East, let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Michael, all weekend your teammates have been trying to give up their starting spot. You politely have said thanks, but no thanks. What changed here at the last minute, and did Vince Carter surprise you?
That's exactly what happened. Vince surprised me. I mean, I told him, as I told the rest of the players, I mean, I started 13 times. I didn't need to start the 14th time, and, you know, they were adamant about getting me to start. And, you know, Vince actually came to me right before we went out and said he would love for me to take his spot. And, you know, I mean, he was very respectful. You know, I think he took some undue punishment, you know, all during the week, you know, about him being very honorable to the fans. And, you know, even at the end when he gave it up, I mean, I really didn't want him to back down from what he actually stood for. And I supported him in that sense. But, you know, he wanted me to take the spot, and I thought it was very gracious of him, very respectful.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Craig, there are also intriguing dynamics going on with Michael Jordan playing for Isaiah Thomas. You recall in Michael's All-Star Day. Oh, Vince Carter on the stuff. And once again, the lob, and Sean Marion does it with the reverse. You recall Michael's All-Star debut back in 1985. Isaiah reportedly encouraged teammates to freeze out Michael to keep the ball away from him. And then reportedly was Michael's influence. Dirk Nowitzki is able to score. It was Michael influencing the decision that kept Isaiah off the Dream Team in Barcelona in 1992. And of course, over the years, it's been a very fierce rivalry. There have been a degree of tension there. And the scoring is picked up. Once again, it's Nowitzki, and the East now leads 27-24.
The score is picked up, but the intensity is not the same as it was during that first quarter. This group has come out. They're playing a different kind of basketball, a wide-open basketball. There are not many shots being contested right now.
So I know you talked about that subject of the fierce rivalry between Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. You talked about it with Isaiah.
Yeah, and Isaiah has mentioned that this was really a real dark spot in his basketball career as Paul Pierce hits it, because it's something that he's had to bear and live with all this time. And I certainly, am not one to pass judgment on it. I was not part of that, what went on. And over the years, as this thing has been great writing material for people, those two people had to live with it and hear about it. And Isaiah really got sick of it because it was a dark spot on his career. And we see now quick pass over to the right side. Brad Miller, instead of shooting the jumper, just puts it up high enough. And that's real high for Vince Carter.
And Marv, I don't buy that whole notion that he froze him out. First of all, he would have had to involve so many other guys to make his plan work, and then why would he be singled out for freezing somebody out? To me, it seems like more of a conspiracy theory that has gone awry.
The old conspiracy theory popping up.
And as both of them have said, look, this far along in their careers now, why shouldn't this thing be buried, put to rest? Isaiah has moved on to his coaching career, a very successful coaching career, and it just happens circumstances wind up being that he's coaching the team, Michael playing on the last time around All-Star game. Bury that whole thing and move on from there. Isaiah was, believe me, he was a force behind this Eastern team doing something to honor Michael here.
Nice pass on the back door, but Pierce throws it out to Ilgauskas. 3 minutes gone by. In the second, the East up by 2. They had a 13-0 run back in the first quarter to take the lead. Marion. And it's Sean Marion once again. Sean Marion of the Phoenix Suns in his first All-Star game. Here's Pierce. Nash and Marbury in the backcourt. Marion able to chase it down, and Nowitzki hits the three.
That's why he's so difficult to guard in transition. As a power forward, he doesn't run for layups. He runs to get behind the three-point line, and he knocked it in.
Antoine Walker way off on that three-point attempt. Here's Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki leading the way with 9 points. And Sean Marion with a burst here in the second quarter. It's the West with a 32-29 lead. Dirk Nowitzki, 9 points in 2 minutes of playing time.
Yao, Shaq. The rematch. The first meeting was a classic. The second will be legendary. Rockets versus Lakers. Yao versus Shaq. Tuesday night, February 18th at 10, only on TNT.
All-Stars are the best at what they do, and everyone involved at NBA All-Star 2003 in Atlanta did their best to teach kids the importance of reading.
It started before spring vacation.
The value of reading goes beyond the classroom, because when you develop a lifelong love of reading, a foundation is laid to achieve anything you want.
How many of us out here do homework?
It all starts when you open a book and begin to read. Be an all-star and read to achieve.
Bring it.
You're going down, little man. You make a collect call to dial in the center. 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you and cheap for them. That's all you got.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
February 14th is the hottest date of the year.
Remember me?
Daredevil, rated PG-13, Friday.
Turn here.
Let's go. Sorry.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you take things in stride, you win.
She's dark green, cashback, low intro, and end of the month. He's yellow, travel, everyday rate, and middle of the month. She's purple, travel, low intro, and beginning of the month. Introducing Bank One's Personal Platinum, the simple new way to choose your rate, your reward, your billing date, even your color. Bank One's Personal Platinum, issued by us, but created by you.
Welcome back to Atlanta. Allen Iverson is the on-court face of the 76ers, but the most inspirational person in their organization might be All-Star Team Ambassador, World Be Free.
I did play for 13 years. If someone say you can't do something, hey, look at me. I made it up out there. Hardcore ghetto, man.
Most of these kids have never heard of him, but World Be Free will connect, just as he did in the 70s and 80s. A gunner, a runner, an all-star. Today, Iverson influences style, fills baskets and seats. World Be Free influences lives, fills hearts and minds.
For what we're doing in Philadelphia and what I'm doing with the Sixers office, people remember.
And during the course of tonight's telecast, we'll get a close-up look at several one-time All-Stars. Allen Iverson sitting down, just 2 of 8 from the field. The West in the midst of a 14-2 run. Vince Carter with the touch, hits from downtown. Nowitzki with 9 of those 14 during the course of that run. Gary Payton of the Seattle Sonics has checked in. The pass broken up. Jamal Mashburn of the Hornets, who just came on into the handle, looking for the 3. Fires over to Nowitzki. Yes!
He has had a great stretch run the last 8 to 10 games just prior to the All-Star break, and a quick, easy layup for the Western Conference team. Gary Payton taking the pass across, but Mashburn has played outstanding basketball, particularly with the fact that Baron Davis has gone down for their team now, trying to keep the Hornets right in the playoff race.
And Jamal Mashburn in his first ever All-Star appearance. Kevin Garnett is back. He's up front with Dirk Nowitzki and Peja Stojakovic of the Sacramento Kings, who just came on. Off the turnover, here's Kidd whipping by Payton. Jason Kidd grew up with Gary Payton, one of his heroes. They both grew up in Oakland, California. Kevin Garnett, and the West leads by 1. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
Well, Mark, we heard Craig Sager mention at the end of that piece on World Be Free about the ambassadors, and I wonder sometimes who are the ambassadors of the future out here? Which of these NBA guys, when their careers are done, as we see Antoine Walker, a little turnout, are going to be the ones that are out there spreading the word about the NBA and what this is supposed to be all about?
All right, Nowitzki off the mark on that three-point attempt. Here's Kidd. And Jason Kidd gives the East a 39-36 lead. Here's Nash for Garnett.
You might normally look at this and say, man, they're just coming down now and firing them. That's how Dallas plays. That's what Nash is used to. Get the ball down quick, get an open shot for your teammate.
Garnett not able to finish it. Antoine Walker putting one off the glass, intended for Carter. You know, in the first quarter, we saw some defense. We saw actually some nice plays. This has now developed into the playground-style all-star game as Paul Pierce is able to hit on a break. Adam Sandler enjoying from courtside.
He just used up all his shots in a three-point competition. His arm is tired.
And Vince Carter, who has come off the bench in his 9 minutes, has scored 7 points. The outside official, Ted Bernhardt, indicating the foul. Paul Pierce picks it up.
A little two-on-one opportunity. Paul Pierce getting the pass from Jason Kidd, finishing it off.
Sorry, we're from Amsterdam. We didn't know light beer was supposed to suck. Amstel Light, the beer drinker's light beer.
On nights when the moon is full, just like tonight, he roams the woods, and small children, just like you or you, may hear.
Can you hear me now?
Good. Making the best wireless network better is causing a lot of excitement. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
2 Amstel Lights, please.
Amstel Light, official beer of the Ski Lodge.
My name is Jimmy Lancaster. David Bolden. Sergeant Lancaster and myself both served in Afghanistan together. Being in top physical condition is a necessity, so I took the Bowflex with us.
We had all seen the commercials but never had used one before. Initial reaction to working out on the Bowflex was, it was a tremendous machine. Everybody in our camp wanted to use the Bowflex. And you can go heavy, you can do a lightweight workout, you can max yourself out on the Bowflex.
Well, the thing I say to guys who are skeptical of the Bowflex is try it.
Try it out and see what you think.
It's a very effective piece of fitness equipment that anybody can benefit from, no matter what your fitness level is. I use Bowflex, and that's all I use.
The Bowflex kept us mentally focused as well as physically.
They helped us stay in shape, and staying in shape helped us do our jobs.
Call and ask for a free video and brochure, and check out the entire Bowflex lineup, or visit us on the web today. Bowflex, real results.
Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia. We're at Phillips Arena. Capacity crowd on hand, including Donald Logue, who's the star of Grounded for Life. Jeff, as you know, the show debuts on the WB starting February 28th at 9:30 p.m. There's Evander Holyfield, Atlanta native.
Huge fundraiser at Evander's home, only about 37 rooms in his mansion.
And the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins, who I believe has been at every conceivable function this All-Star weekend.
You know what? There's one of the ambassadors. Dominique Wilkins, Magic Johnson, and our own Charles Barker. They have been the greatest ambassadors. They have been all over the city, running all kinds of events and trying to get as much as they possibly can in every second of each day.
And Marv, charging for some admission sometimes.
Well, they run these parties at night, but believe me, forget the parties at night. The other stuff they've done all day long it's been really tiresome for them because they have been asked to be all over, and they have certainly responded.
So, are you doing public relations on the side?
No, I'm just being honest about that ambassador thing because I think they do a very, very important job for our NBA.
All right, here's Kobe Bryant from downtown. And for Kobe, his first field goal coming up on 5 minutes remaining. And the first half, the East up by 4. Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, Jamal Mashburn, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan on the floor for the East. Michael played the first 11 minutes when only 2 of 10 from the field. Pierce off the pick. And Bryant gets it back. Garnett.
Oh, my goodness, a bounce pass. A bounce pass from Kobe that led to a dunk by Kevin Garnett. It can be done the simple way.
And what's changed on the break defensively is in the first quarter, people were going up to contest the shot at the basket. Now they're just letting people finish. Vince Carter should have made a play.
Up close and personal with Kevin Garnett. Garnett with 8 points now in his 13 minutes of play. Walker being guarded by Duncan. Antoine Walker, who leads the NBA in 3-point shots attempted and made, did not have a good time last night, though, at the 3-point competition in the skills won by Peja Stojakovic of the Kings. Let's check in with Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Thanks a lot, Marv. I'm joined by the son, Sean Marion. Sean, I know this is your first All-Star game, but with that last reverse dunk, you didn't look nervous.
Oh, no, it's crazy, but I'm enjoying myself, man. It's all for the fans. I'm just having fun right now.
How good was it to see Michael Jordan in the starting lineup?
Oh, it's great. It's great. You know, he did his first jumper on me, though. I ain't like that, though, but it's cool, though. We just out there having fun. Everybody just having laughs, man. Everybody turning over a little bit too much, but other than that, we playing ball and having fun.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean. Let's send it back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Sean Marion, who's been teaming with Mari Stoudemire, Stephon Marbury to give Phoenix one of the most athletic and exciting tandems in the NBA. It's been an excellent turnaround season for the Suns. Mashburn for 3. That's his second from downtown.
There's some beautiful ball movement. Double team in the low poster, kick it out 1 pass, swing it over 2 more passes, and then got a player like Mashburn who knocks it down for you in the end.
That's what makes the NBA special. Good offense against very good defense. That's what makes it compelling.
You know why the game is settled back down again? Because Michael Jordan's on the floor is one of the reasons. Kobe Bryant for the other team. Both of those guys bring a sense of order to the game.
And Jordan just turned it over as he went 1-on-2. Peyton Stojakovic able to go glass.
Another great play on the break by Peyton. He could have taken the shot instead. Extra pass over to Stojakovic. Open 12-foot bank shot.
Once again, the matchup is Kobe Bryant defending on Michael Jordan. Now Tim Duncan switches off. Bryant comes back. Now Mashburn over Duncan. And here come the West. Peyton lobs it for Garnett.
And Kevin Garnett turned to Michael Jordan and pointed, basically saying thank you for moving out of the way, because he very easily could have wound up by accident underneath Garnett's legs and taken him out from under him as he went up for the lob.
Kevin Garnett, the first to hit double figures. He has 10 points. Here's Walker for 3. Antoine Walker from downtown, the East 50, the West 47.
You see Antoine Walker wearing that knee brace. He is really in pain with that leg. It is a very bad knee that he has right now. It's a result of an injury that happened about 2 weeks ago. He sat out, missed a couple games. He's playing in this because it's the All-Star game, and it means that much to him.
And it has been a frustrating start for Michael Jordan. And this, his 13th and final All-Star game. Beautiful lob here, Peyton to Garnett.
Nice shot. Let's see what you can do now.
Let's go, man.
Don't smile, kid.
How much you want?
All day. Oh, gotta stay down on that.
I got that.
You got what? That's a youngster for you. Just when you thought it was safe to come outside.
Bet you won't score again.
I won't score again? How you like that rainbow? We're not done. Excuse me. Had enough? Well, look here, sucker. You reach, I teach. We'll see. Lesson just started. Come on. That's ugly.
Could have done.
You should have done.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Who's got next?
Get your young butt out there.
The Hyundai Sonata, with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you go your own way, you win.
What is love? What is love? Love is playing every game as if it's your last.
From early mornings to late nights, from the store around the corner to business around the country, your whole family can count on the best wireless network in the nation, Verizon Wireless. Get the America's Choice National Family Share Plan and share unlimited night and weekend minutes on up to 4 separate lines. Hurry and buy an LG phone for $49.99 after rebate. Plus, now get unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 monthly access. So no one's ever out of the loop. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
3 times the chase, 3 times the adrenaline, 3 times the drama. For the first time on network television, Nicolas Cage, gone in 60 seconds, 3 nights in a row. Friday night at 8 on TNT.
The 2003 NBA All-Star Game, brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. And by Amstel Light, always satisfying, never watered down. Amstel Light, the beer drinkers like beer.
Listen up, TNTers. Cartoon Network's Adult Swim All-Star Extravaganza is coming up after the game. You'll see Futurama, Harvey Birdman, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and a couple of other shows that are pretty out there.
Yep, stay out. Woo! Middle, Page, your middle. Get out there, KG. Oh, mash. Just switch it. No, switch. No switch. No switch, drop back.
Well, we have our microphones all over the court. Time to time during the telecast, we'll be listening in on some of the verbiage. And Jeff, you said we might see it. And here it is. Yao Ming, Shaquille O'Neal on the floor at the same time.
And they're trying to play the largest 2-3 zone of all time.
However, you may only get one shot against this zone. That's it. One shot now.
Steve Francis is the only, quote, little man, because Garnett and Duncan are also on the floor with O'Neal and Yao.
And the Eastern team came back and played their version of the zone defense at that end.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Yao Ming throws the lob for Shaquille O'Neal. And here comes Jordan with Garnett back. Michael Jordan with his 3rd field goal. He has 6 points. He now has 248 points in his All-Star career. That moves him past Oscar Robertson into 2nd place. Kevin Garnett shows the touch. Jordan now 4 points away from passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the #1 spot in all-time All-Star scoring. Pierce coming up on a minute remaining in the half. Duncan
That was some pass by Steve Francis. Forget about the finish. The finish was easy. The pass was right there at the rim. And he took it off the dribble and flipped it underhanded.
I'm not sure it wouldn't have gone in if he hadn't touched it.
The East up by 1. Yao Ming being guarded by Antoine Walker. Here's Shaquille O'Neal just backing his way on Paul Pierce, saying, get out of here.
That's a pretty good high-low look when you can go from 7-5 to 7-1.
Walker way off of that three-point attempt. Garnett is ahead of the field. Shackton Seam went behind the back instead. Duncan for Garnett.
Big ball seems to be dominating out here at the moment.
So the West up by 3. Kevin Garnett is the high-point man with 14.
May not have been since LSU when Stanley Roberts was a starting center that Shaquille O'Neal is a power forward and matching up against Michael Jordan.
Shot clock to 5. Mashburn. Final seconds of the half. Pierce able to break it up, but stepped out.
Pretty good combination here. You've got a guy who has the ability to throw the ball, pass the ball extremely well. We're talking about Yao, very highly skilled player. Shaq calling for it back underneath the basket, trying to finish with the left hand.
Francis for 3. Halftime of the West with a 55-52 lead. The West shooting 54%, 26 of 48. And the East at 37%. Let's go to Craig.
Well, Vince, a very humble gesture giving up your starting spot, but just Friday you said a man has to stand by his decision. Why'd you change your mind?
I stood by my decision. My decision was to start, and you know, it's after a while I sat back and thought about it, like, hey, this is his last one. He is the greatest player, and you know, I'm gonna get this opportunity again to come out here and play. But this is a chance for me to tell all my fans, thank you very much for voting for me. But he deserves it.
Thank you very much, Vince. Let's go to the show.
Thanks a lot, Craig. Well, Dirk, did you ever imagine watching Shaq, Tim Duncan, Yao Ming, and Garnett on the court at one time?
Not at all, and I was hoping I was the point guard of that squad. That'll be hilarious, but no, it's fun to watch the big guys with the skills nowadays, and it's great to watch.
All right, see you in the second half. Let's send it over to you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. Dirk Nowitzki with 9 points. Kevin Garnett, the high point man, with 14. Coming up, Mariah Carey in concert here at Phillips.
Encourage a lifelong love of reading. Read to achieve.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by February 10th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
Let's go. Check ball.
Check ball. Check up. Check.
Check. Come on, baby.
Check it out.
There you go. 0-0.
2-0.
Check ball. Check ball.
1-2.
5-5. 7, baby.
6 1 8 7 9 8 10. Hold on.
10-8.
Check up your ball. Ball up.
This is game.
Come on, check up. Game point. Bring. Come on. This game point.
That's game.
Nah, yo, best of 5.
Let's go then.
We don't cheer the timid, the meek, those content with their 15 minutes of fame. We applaud the dreamers, the adventurers,
Those who dare to soar above horizons. For only those bold enough to chase dreams are the ones who catch them. WrestleMania, the showcase of the immortals. Live March 30th on pay-per-view.
Miss Lewis. It is Miss, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Could you tell me again how you use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls?
Well, I just dialed down the center.
With what, Miss Lewis? With what? You dialed down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you, cheap for them. So good.
You sure this guy's a cop?
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
On a classified mission. We're here to get you out. In hostile territory. We got trouble.
Intel estimates 5,000 rebels converging on your area. Everybody down!
One soldier will risk everything.
It's been strongly suggested that we abandon these refugees.
And make the ultimate choice.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to do that.
That is not your mission!
From the director of Training Day.
Your unit is not equipped to handle the additional threat.
My team will complete this mission. Tears of the Sun. Rated R. In theaters March 7th.
The Halftime Report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Ernie Johnson here with a multiple choice question. Who do you want to hear from, Magic, Charles Kenny, or Mariah Carey? I figured. Here's PA announcer Craig Ross.
Spectacular comeback by the Eastern Conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the #1 selling female artist of all time, Mariah Carey. Jordan!
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan!
Look at the air. Look at the hang time. Look at the flying motion.
Nobody in the world could cover my main man, Michael Jordan.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! Michael on the drive across the lane. Turnaround shot. Got it! 63 for Jordan. Whose game is it? It's Michael Jordan's game.
Sometimes I dream that he is me.
He kept it in bounds. Here it is again. Oh! Yes! Michael Jordan! Jordan. Oh! circle against Russell. Michael hangs, fires, scores! And it goes well! 10 seconds. Here comes Chicago. Jordan open. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
I still got a lot to learn, but at least I know where I can turn. When I'm in my times of need, just as long as I know all things are possible, just as long as I believe, long as I believe. I've loved a lot, hurt a lot, been burned a lot in my life and times, spent precious years wrapped up in fears, Thank you. From North Carolina, Chicago, Washington, at guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I must say, on behalf of all of you, my former teammates, my former adversaries, my competitors, I want to thank my family for sticking with me for so many years as I chased my dreams of playing basketball. For all the fans who have supported the game of basketball, not just Michael Jordan. I thank you for your support. I leave the game in good hands. So many great stars still in the game, so many great stars rising and playing the game. I have passed on the things that Dr. J, some of the great players, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, has passed on to me. I pass on to these all-stars here, as well as the rest of the players in the NBA. I thank you for your support. Now I can go home and feel at peace with the game of basketball. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan.
TNT, the exclusive home of the 2003 Western Conference Finals.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Making the best wireless network better never goes out of style. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Introducing our new 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. With legendary four-wheel drive capability and an abundance of safety features, you'll have to work hard to make winter driving a challenge.
These people have taken control.
He was tossing and turning so much, I knew he wasn't getting any rest.
With a regular coil mattress, you have no control.
We had different needs.
With a regular bed, you have to pick, firm or soft.
Introducing the Nautilus Sleep System. The Nautilus Sleep System's unique interlocking air chamber design provides personalized comfort. Now you and your spouse can control your own comfort with the push of a button.
Those chambers are the real secret, and you control your own side of the bed.
I control my comfort, and he controls his comfort.
Test the Nautilus Sleep System in your home for 90 nights to make sure you love it. Order now, and you can get payments as low as $25 a month with the protection of our 20-year limited warranty.
If you can't sleep at night, believe me, this mattress works.
Call now for a free video and brochure, or visit our website at greatsleep.com and take control for a great sleep tonight.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Welcome you back to the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report. To vote for the MVP of the All-Star Game, log on to NBA.com or send the text MVP to 622 on your Verizon Wireless phone. They'll send you a ballot in text message form, and you can vote. Place is still buzzing, boys and girls, because moments ago, Michael Jordan with the rest of the All-Stars after
officially passed the torch.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you know what's amazing for me? This is like the end for me. I was blessed to play against Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Patrick Ewing. For me, this is kind of John Stockton. I don't want to forget him. David Robinson. This is the end of an era, and I appreciate David Stern and the NBA. I almost started crying.
Yeah.
That was emotional.
Yeah. And with Mariah singing the hero, what classy words from a classy man. I tell you, that's why he's the greatest. To talk about the fans, to talk about the players that he's passing on the torch to.
And the players he learned from, such as yourself. He touched on every base.
Yes, he did. And I just want to say, like you said, Charles, I almost started crying because you got goosebumps all over you. It was special tonight. I wish all of you out there at home could have been here. The place is just buzzing.
Hey, Ernie,
being
I got to ask Ernie, what you think of Mariah's skirt?
I probably thought the same thing that most everybody else in here thought about Mariah's skirt. But you know what? You know what was better than Mariah's skirt? Was Jordan's speech.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know about that now.
What you really?
Well, Mariah's skirt was shorter than his speech, but go ahead.
But no, honestly, just knowing where he's come from and from North Carolina, you know, I didn't expect. I don't think any of our teammates expected him to reach the pinnacle that he did. But the hard work, the determination, the things that used to be his weakness became his strengths. His outside shooting, his ball handling ability. Those are things when he came into the league was a weakness, became his strength, and that's a testament of how great he really is.
Well, that's old school. That's getting in the gym in the summertime. That's dedication to hard work. That's saying, hey, I see Larry Bird sitting there. I see Magic. I see so-and-so sitting there. I want to be better than them. And he was able to do just that, but he put the work in.
It was a goosebumper here at halftime at Phillips Arena at the All-Star Game here on TNT. Michael Jordan, as you say, Kenny, passing the torch at center court. We'll be back.
The Halftime Report has been brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Nash crossing over. Wraps around Bryant.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 1673 with service to New York this evening. You want to make sure all your carry-on items are placed all the way underneath your feet in front of you or in one of the overhead bins. Please let us know. The captain has turned off the fastest seatbelt sign.
Presenting the new 12-inch PowerBook, the world's most compact, full-featured notebook computer. And the new 17-inch PowerBook, the world's first and only 17-inch notebook computer. The new 12 and 17-inch PowerBooks. The next big and small things from Apple.
She's dark green, cashback, low intro, and end of the month. He's yellow, travel, everyday rate, and middle of the month. She's purple, travel, low intro, and beginning of the month. Introducing Bank One's Personal Platinum, the simple new way to choose your rate, your reward, your billing date, even your color. Bank One's Personal Platinum, issued by us, but created by you.
Subway's changed my life. I've got more energy, and I need it with a wife at home.
Now there's plenty to take care of. I have a yard to keep, things to build. I work up quite an appetite. Now Subway has low-fat sauces, like honey mustard on turkey. I love the new meat.
Subway, eat fresh!
Every crime.
The new 12 and 17-inch PowerBooks. The next big and small things from Apple.
She's dark green, cashback, low intro, and end of the month. He's yellow, travel, everyday rate, and middle of the month. She's purple, travel, low intro, and beginning of the month. Introducing Bank One's Personal Platinum, the simple new way to choose your rate, your reward, your billing date, even your color. Bank One's Personal Platinum, issued by us, but created by you.
Subway's changed my life. I've got more energy, and I need it with a wife and home. Now there's plenty to take care of. I have a yard to keep, things to build. I work up quite an appetite. Now Subway has low-fat sauces, like honey mustard on turkey. I love the new meat.
Subway, eat fresh!
Every crime has a suspect.
Mr. Gale, Austin Police.
Every murder has a motive.
What if the murder was not only to get rid of Gale, but to make him look crazy?
But the truth is not always what it seems.
This is where the tripod was. They never found a video or anything.
Someone's framing you?
Oh, it's more than that.
Why make it look like a murder? Why frame an innocent man?
Kevin Spacey, The Life of David Gale, rated R. At theaters Friday, February 21st.
At Rent-A-Center, it's easy to get the stuff you want because everybody's pre-approved. TVs, appliances, furniture, computers. You can get it today. Boom! Just like that.
No credit? Boom! No problem! No credit? Boom! You're in! No credit? Boom! You got it!
Hey, you guys can't say boom. Get your own word.
Now mention this ad and get a week free when you pay for a week. Call 1-800-205-2005 for Rent-A-Center.
How? Nope, keep thinking.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
How did I get my ticket to the All-Star game? I paid for it. What's my thirst? The game. What's yours?
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
Halftime in Atlanta, and the West leads the East 55-52. The West shooting 54% from the field, 26 of 48, taking advantage of their size. As we take a look from above downtown Atlanta, the Jeep halftime statistics. I mentioned the West at 54% on 26 of 48 from the field. The East 22 for 58, 38% shooting. And certainly the Western squad taking advantage of that size with the lob pass. 11 dunks in the first half. And here's a look by virtue of TNT total motion.
We see the lob pass to Yao Ming. Yao Ming now the all-time leader in field goal percentage in All-Star games, 1-for-1. Then Vince Carter stopping along the way and finishing.
Little difficulty with the microphone, Czar. I think there was the Jeff Van Gundy conspiracy theory involved there. Don't speak, really. Don't knock yourself out.
That's the best thing we could have ever done on this broadcast. Keep tapping it. You might have to be there for a while. Marv, it's just me and you.
Yes. We've waited for this all season long. Well, the big story coming into tonight, Michael Jordan supposedly was coming off the bench, and then at the last instant, Vince Carter stepped aside. I get the idea reluctantly. I think there was some pressure put on Vince, and Michael was in the starting lineup and had his difficulties.
He did. He missed some makeable shots. Obviously, it's his last go-around. He wants to perform well. I think he'll perform much better in the second half.
Czar, I thought that was a very good point that you made. But the microphone, unfortunately, is not working. look at the individual scoring totals. Vince Carter coming off the bench with 7 points. Kevin Garnett leading the West with 14, and Dirk Nowitzki with 9. One of the highlights of the first half, for several minutes, Rick Adelman, the West coach, did play Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming together.
Jeff, you had the early scoop on that. You had talked to Rick yesterday and again today and mentioned the fact that he might go with the huge lineup. I feel bad for Dirk Nowitzki. He could have been the point guard, something he really wanted to do with that group.
Yeah, having a 7-foot point guard. And the only way, really, that the East stayed in the game because they shot so poorly was because the West didn't take care of the ball very well. 18 turnovers.
And getting ready for the second half, let's go over to Craig Sager.
Well, before the game, the East teammates said that they wanted Michael Jordan to be the MVP. As you mentioned, Marv, just 2 for 10. I talked to Jason Kidd. Kidd said it still can happen. Michael right now has 246 career All-Star points. He's only 5 behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If he gets 6 points in the second half, he'll become the all-time leading scorer in All-Star game history. And if the East wins, Jason says his teammates think that will be enough for him to get the MVP. The big thing is for them to win the game first.
All right, Craig. We mentioned Vince Carter stepping aside. Now, a couple of weeks back, Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson made the offer to Michael Jordan. And Michael said, thank you, I appreciate it, but I don't think that is the right thing to do. It was back in 1978 in the All-Star game here in Atlanta that Doug Collins graciously stepped aside and gave his starting spot on the East squad to John Havlicek, who was wrapping up an illustrious career.
Well, as Michael said from the beginning, he did not want, and it's very difficult, but he did not want this weekend to be all about Michael Jordan. But as Allen Iverson goes to the basket and finishes, but that's what everybody wants. They want this to be about Michael, not taking away from All-Star Weekend, but he obviously is the focal point.
The West now up by 1. Jason Kidd starting the second half, so Michael Jordan will be coming off the bench. Kobe Bryant not able to hit. Jermaine O'Neal with the rebound. So Iverson and Kidd in the backcourt. O'Neal up front with Brad Miller and Tracy McGrady. O'Neal and Garnett pegs it ahead. Picked off by O'Neal. Miller try to lob it. And back comes the West. Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets try to set it up for Kobe Bryant. McGrady from Iverson.
I really like how Iverson's playing in this game. He's making his teammates better. He's bringing the second defender to him, creating easy opportunities for his teammates.
And that the 4th assist for Iverson. Bryant for Francis. Good ball movement by the West, leading to this, an open shot for Francis. Francis from downtown.
Well, that's the type of unselfish play that you'd like to see take place as Iverson takes to the basket and still shows you, Jeff, that he does remember how to score the basketball.
The game is tied at 58. And the foul on Iverson.
Allen Iverson gets out in front quickly as Jason Kidd pitches the ball ahead. Then it's just a matter of him finding the seam and his great ability to finish by reversing it on the other side.
How about the statement yesterday by Jason Kidd, who becomes a free agent July 1st. He'd been ducking the issue, but yesterday, although as Garnett hits again, although Kidd pointed out how happy he is with the Nets, he said it would be hard to turn down playing with a big man like Tim Duncan. He said he feels he could help the Spurs win a championship.
Well, obviously, you know, Kidd is going to be the most sought-after free agent, minus Tim Duncan, out there. He can win in New Jersey, which was proven last year. He can win in San Antonio, but I think New Jersey's done all they can to keep him. They've built a good team. They have a solid organization. They've drafted well. Now it's up to Jason Kidd to make his decision.
Let me throw one little thing into the mix here. How about Tony Parker? Going to be 20 years old right now, okay, who's in his second year in the NBA, who's done an excellent job for him as Tim Duncan, the big man we're talking about,
hits the jumper from the outside. Now what's happening to Tony Parker? He's sitting there saying, wait a minute, they want to bring somebody else in and knock me out of my job? What do I become, a sub now off the bench? Well, a lot involved there for San Antonio. Very risky to make an effort to go after him right now. Tony Parker is an outstanding second-year player. Duncan is rejected by O'Neal, but Jason Kidd's addition, I would think, would accelerate the possibilities for San Antonio. The Spurs will be well under the salary cap after this season.
You know what's hard to do, Marv, is win and be under the salary cap. The Spurs management has done an outstanding job remaining a championship contender and, as Jason Kidd knocks down the three, and still having the ability to add great players like Jason Kidd.
Jason nearly went for the hat trick, but hit on his third attempt from downtown. Duncan is fouled, so Duncan will go to the line, and we'll check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Marv, last night, Jeff Gordon competing in the Budweiser Shootout, finishing second at Daytona. Now he's singing the stands at the All-Star Game. What do you think of the game so far?
It's great. I mean, it's awesome to be here to see Jordan play for the last time in the All-Star Game, and I know he's going to get 5 more points here, but it's a great event. I mean, you know, it shows a lot of where NBA's come from, where they're going, and we're excited about, you know, TNT covering it because they do a lot of stuff with NASCAR races.
Our NASCAR starts in July, but Marv earlier was talking about the gridlock, having trouble getting around. How are you getting around the streets of Atlanta?
I actually had to get out and walk, so the traffic's incredible here. Reminds me a lot of a NASCAR race.
Well, Marv, don't feel bad. If Jeff Gordon has to walk through traffic, I guess we all do. Marv.
You know, I was going to walk. Bizarre just refused to get out of the car. That is not true. We actually had to walk back. The entire group last night had to walk back to our hotel. It was much quicker. It would have been a 35, 40-minute wait. Instead, just walk 3 blocks, made it easy. West with a 3-point lead. 3.5 gone by in this third quarter. Steve Francis being played now by Allen Iverson, getting the pick from his teammate Yao Ming. Now Duncan with the mismatch. And tipped home by Kobe Bryant. We'll just let that offensive goaltending go by for right now, since he put his hand inside the bottom of the rim to finish it. Here's McGrady. 10 points for Tracy. Off the turnover, Iverson. Yes. That's a 3 for Iverson. Allen Iverson, the most valuable player of the NBA All-Star Game 2 years ago. 25 points, 27 minutes at 15 points. And that comeback in the fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant taking to the rim. It counts. Here we go to something. Duncan finding Jason right behind him, finished off by Kobe, and then Kobe staying with it, finishing with the left hand. Kobe Bryant just 3 of 7 from the field. So the West up by 1. Garnett trying to strip McGrady, and he's called for the reach in. Let's send it over to Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Marv. Well, Shaq, a week from Tuesday is going to be Yao Ming and Shaq Part 2. What's it been like to play with him, as far as with him instead of against them?
He's a very nice guy. I met his family yesterday. He has a beautiful family. He's a very honorable person. He's good for the game. I'm glad he's here.
How talented do you think he can eventually be?
Very talented. He has a lot of great fundamental skills. You know, he runs the court well. You know, he plays like a big man. He's a shot blocker.
So when are we going to see you lob to him?
Well, in order for us to, go against a shot block, you have to take it to him, and that's my game. So, I look to, do the same thing I've been doing for the last 10 years.
I'm talking about in the All-Star game. I want to see a lob. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
See, well, you and them standard answers.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, when are we going to see the lob?
Next time I get on a break, I'll throw a lob, maybe.
All right, thanks a lot, Shaq. Let's go back to you, Marv.
Shaquille O'Neal of the Los Angeles Lakers, who have won 5 in a row, 13 of their last 17. Kobe Bryant who comes off the 46-point performance against the Knicks this past Thursday night in New York. Duncan. And back comes the East, a 3-on-1. Tracy McGrady. That's 12 points for McGrady. So the East up by 1. Bryant and Francis at the guards with Duncan, Garnett, and Yao up front. Kidd stepped away. Bryant not able to take advantage. Brad Miller able to finish. Nice setup from Allen Iverson.
He's not a household name, but he runs the floor extremely well in transition. Him and Jermaine O'Neal can really, really run the floor. He was on a nice receiving end of a good fast break pass.
Meanwhile, we have Kevin Garnett just having an outstanding game. 9 for 15 from the floor, 18 points, 7 rebounds in 25 minutes.
Oh, what a pass! And Tim Duncan is able to finish. 6 assists for Francis, and the West with a 74-73 lead.
That's 2 passes we've seen Brad Miller try. One a lob and one behind his back that he should take those, stick them in the suitcase, and not use them ever again. Jason Kidd in the open floor, crossing it over, and McGrady with the strong finish at the end.
Are you a real fan? Want to see the replay? Want to be courtside? Have you ever been in a locker room? Need a photo? Need a score? When is game time? Did you catch that? Looking for some stuff? Then log on to NBA.com and check out all your favorite NBA apparel. To shop, log on to NBA.com or America Online keyword NBA.com. What are you doing? Experience the NBA online. NBA.com.
Someone here's trying to make a collect call. Calm down, people. All you gotta do is dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you, cheap for them. What do you say we get up out here and go hit a disco? Or not.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
I fill this city with bullets!
Detective Eldon Perry was ruthless, corrupt, and one step ahead of the law he was sworn to enforce.
I ain't got a gun! Yeah, you do!
On February 21st, it'll take an entire city to take him out.
Here comes the...
Swoop down on him like the Lord's fury. Kurt Russell and Ving Rhames.
I ain't going down.
Dark Blue, rated R, starts February 21st at theaters everywhere.
I used to worry about money. Then I got Brown. Brown helps me figure it all out. Brown manages my inventory, fills my orders, then ships them to retailers anywhere. And here's the cool part. It saves me money, so I have the cash to keep my business growing and my people stoked. They're stoked.
Order fulfillment, distribution, one company. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Welcome back to Atlanta. College legend, NBA champion, and NBA All-Star. Cassie Russell today leads the most unlikely college basketball team in Georgia.
Pablo, come on, Pablo, Picasso, Pablo, Picasso.
Offensive sets named for a master. It fits.
A lot of people thought Savannah State that I was going to, and I said, no, it's Savannah College of Art and Design. You going to an art school?
Is Division III too small a canvas for the Michigan legend who helped the Knicks to the 1970 title?
The hell with my fault. Why don't you just give him the game?
Cassie
Casey has coaxed 7 stellar seasons from a limited palate, and
When they leave here, they'll be well educated. Trust me.
Casey, a dazzling offensive player for the New York Knicks, then the Golden State Warriors, and a one-time assistant coach with the Czar.
Yes, I was very fortunate. I had not only Don Chaney, Willis Reed, but also Cassie Russell, all as my assistant coaches here with the Atlanta Hawks. And Cassie has an inner peace with himself. Really has some things in mind. As Shaq finishes with, "Oh, the travel is called. It's taken away. No basket for Shaq."
You know, I wish you had that inner peace.
No, Cassie really does. He has a calmness about him, and going to that college he knew would be a challenge. Yet he never was concerned with the fact that it was a small college, art school. He just wanted to coach basketball and help young people develop.
Jeff, do you find the Czar very philosophical here tonight?
He really is. It's a different side, a lighter side to the Czar, and I think it's a very nice touch that he's adding here, where he's just sticking up for everyone that he was ever associated with the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, there's a public relations theme going here right from the start.
It's amazing what one win can do for you in the sophomore game.
All right, Tracy McGrady at the line. Michael Jordan is back on the floor. And a look at the national TV NBA schedule. Wednesday on ESPN, Dallas and Milwaukee. Thursday on TNT, Orlando, Detroit, and Boston, Portland. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock game on ABC, the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Jersey Nets.
The red-hot Portland Trailblazers. How about them right now? Are they playing outstanding basketball? They are right up at the top there in the Western Conference.
Oh, beautiful pass. The backdoor toss from Shaquille O'Neal to his teammate Kobe Bryant.
And O'Neal's an underrated low post passer. He's really improved that from the first time he's come in the league. He's a great passer, particularly against double teams, creating open shots for all Lakers.
Here's Jordan, rejected by O'Neal. And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. They were not happy. Foul is called on Duncan.
Michael, as you mentioned, just a few points away of taking over the all-time leadership. It looks like he's going to be able to get 2 of them right here, but Shaq goes up and says, "Not getting it over the top of me." And then the quick little bounce pass to the cutter down the lane. Shaquille, as you mentioned, a very good interior passer.
Jermaine O'Neal has tied the game at 76. Michael is now 3 for 13 from the field. And that was the first block shot by the West.
Well, not to change direction, but as you look at some of the footwear on the players tonight, they remind me of some of the cars that you see with the metallic finishes on them. You got these high finish sneaks on tonight. Blues and golds and orange and purple.
Right there. Jeff, getting back to the game. Bryant with the pass to O'Neal. And the West up by 1. That's the 12th lead change in this third quarter.
You like me talking about metallic finishes, I can tell.
Tracy McGrady.
So the worst shoes, though, I have voting for Yao with the powder blue low cut.
Non-metallic finish, that's the whole key. There you go. There's Yao. And there's powder blues, a little Carolina. Maybe he's showing respect to Michael Jordan that he wore the Carolina blues tonight. That could be it. Inside, the power. He wants to tear that one down right there. And as he runs back down, Kobe sticks out his hand to give him a 5. Shaq ignores. He says to his teammate, "Not right now. Just leave me alone."
Michael Jordan able to hit the fadeaway over Gary Payton. So Jordan with 8 points is now 2 away from passing Kareem as the all-time all-star scorer. Tim Duncan right back. The East up by 1. Stephon Marbury of the Phoenix Suns checking back into the lineup. And both clubs are on fire. Tracy McGrady from downtown. 19 points for McGrady. Brady with 14 of his 19 here in the third. Here's Marion for 3. O'Neal changed his mind. Duncan.
Back there, get there.
And another offensive rebound for the West. Finally, Jermaine O'Neal able to get to the ball. Here's Jordan hit on the reach-in by Payton. So Michael Jordan within 2 points of taking over the top spot in All-Star scoring. Timeout taken. 2:04 to go in this third quarter.